Hello, this is Ian, CEO at We Offer Wellness, and we are here today with Tracy, who's in a real room. I had to ask if it was a backdrop, but it's not. It's actually real. So, Tracy, welcome and hello.
No.
How are
Thank you for
you
having me.
then? In a little shed at the bottom of the garden.
It's a little garden room. It's beautiful. I teach all my classes here, do my therapies here, so it's lovely. Yeah, it's nice to have this space, and it is real. It's very real.
And it is very real, and so are you. But no, lovely to see you. Look, where are you based?
So I'm based in Sidcup, so I'm quite near to Eltham, to Greenwich, Kent, London borders. It's a really good location because I can get anywhere. I've got the M20 next to me, the A2 next to me, so it's really handy.
And this lovely little space that you got, and I meant that when we was just before we started. It looks very cozy, very inviting, just simple, just kind of nice, And I can see the extension of you into the room, you know, uh,
Yeah.
your personality. So tell us about what goes on in this room, then. Yeah, what goes on
So
there?
a whole host, a plethora of loveliness. So I teach yoga classes from here. So I run workshops for people, beginners workshops, and I hold classes from here as well. I do one-to-one sessions from here in terms of yoga and meditation. I also run my therapies from here. So I carry out Reiki. I'm a sound therapist. And I do coaching and I run workshops. So they all happen in this space. And obviously, it goes onto the garden. So it's really nice to have both areas. And I also run online classes from here. So I teach a lot of classes online or have clients online. But it's just a bit of a nicer space than sitting in your bedroom, isn't it?
Look, we're supposed to take about that. So talk about that. So look, the well-being within.
Yeah.
Tell us the story how you came to that as the name that you go under.
So, in truth, the real reason that I begun this journey, I mean, I've always been really interested in kind of like stuff that supports your well-being, but in not a sort of conventional way, more of a. I've always been into meditation and yoga when I was young, a young girl, and then life got in the way, and I worked in education for many years. Felt a little bit disconnected from that, and this just kept coming back to me. And in truth, this name just popped into my head. I don't know what it was for. At this point, I wasn't even a yoga teacher. But I went through quite a tricky time and I decided to use this name for an Instagram handle and had a private Instagram page where I would post stuff to get it out of my head. Like anything that I was feeling, it was like my own personal page. Started my yoga journey and it's kind of just evolved from there. And I think the essence of it is really to do with like everything that you need is within you. You are your own healer. You are the person that can take the step to make yourself feel better, align a bit better. You are the person that can shift your perspective. You are the person that can turn really horrible things into something of a lesson or almost a positive, if you will. So really, that's where it sort of stemmed from, and it's kind of been a evolving journey ever since. Yeah, that's really the truth of it. That's how it begun.
Yeah, no, absolutely wonderful. So for you, it's a very real thing based on some of your own life experience.
Exactly that.
Totally with you on the going inside to seek the medicine, the instruction, and like you probably use meditation techniques to try to connect to those
Yeah,
things inside Tracy. So
yeah, absolutely.
right, okay. So in regards to the experiences with the offer wellness then. So both online, or they can come to your well-being within place at the bottom of your
Yeah.
garden. Yeah. And you do crystals as well. Crystal
I
work,
do.
crystal healing. Yeah.
Yep. So that goes alongside. I also have like an online crystal shop. It needs a bit of an update, not going to lie. But yeah, so I work with crystals. That's something I've been fascinated with since I was like a child. Loved them, always loved them. And so yeah, I work with those. I source the crystals ethically. I've got a number of people that I work with, handpick everything myself, and cleanse it. But I use those in my therapies. So I run workshops for people that want to learn a bit more about working with crystals and what to do with them. And also in like my Reiki, my sound healing, I use them with that as well. And just, yeah, I sell them because I love them and I like to pass the love on to everybody else.
We were talking just before we started about even going. You do schoolwork, going into schools and so
I
forth, right? So if
do.
anybody sees this and they're connected to the education system, wherever they are, they could connect you about that as well. But you were saying also going into schools with the crystals because the children just naturally curious,
Yeah, I
intrigued.
think children are very much more open to different things. They absolutely love the sound. They love the yoga. They love the mindfulness activities we do. They adore crystals. It's like the fascination with the natural world. I think is they've still got that like that awe and wonder about it. And because I used to work with children, I really am so privileged to be able to bring that to schools now, like, and help them sort of develop those tools for themselves that they can use outside of what they're taught, in school. Other ways that they can kind of connect to something. They're quite visual children, so something like a really beautiful crystal that they can use if they're feeling anxious and hold and feel, and it's tactile, just gives them that kind of visual representation of what it is, or a little confidence boost, or whatever it is, like a lovely little thing to help them along, basically.
And do you do workshops and stuff like that as well?
I do, yeah. So I run various workshops, journaling, mindfulness, crystals is a big one. That's really popular. I also run a circle once a month because I work a lot with moon energy. So I use that in my circles once a month at my retreats. But yeah, lots of different workshops. I get asked a lot to go into workplaces to do that kind of thing as well. Again, I teach online lunchtime yoga to companies, just half an hour slots for them to have that little space of mindfulness in their day. It can look like all different types of things. It's really, I think the beauty of like having different elements is that you can bespoke it to what your clients need and want. So yeah, it's really nice to be able to offer that service.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's certainly one of the things that we have some and want to push more into the corporate and just daily living. So if somebody was interested in that, they're a boss or, they've got a workforce and they're interested in talking to you, would it be a process of tell us about who your staff are, where they are, what sort of things you think they might be interested in? You put together an
Yeah,
experience for them.
essentially, I think people usually what happens is people will have a conversation. So I will find out really what they want. Not everybody wants the yoga side, and that's absolutely fine. No, some people really don't want to do that, and that's cool. So there are other options. I think sometimes it's just about helping other people find the tools that they can bring into their day, because work and life can be really mental and it can be really a lot. So yeah, initially it's an initial chat about what it is they're seeking. Sometimes it's like weekly sessions, sometimes it's like a day event, sometimes it's an afternoon event. I've gone all over the place, so it's yeah, I've done all sorts of different things. So it's quite nice to have that to bring to people as well as another option.
Yeah, no, wonderful. And you talked about earlier, so the Sidcup area on the borders or the boundary between sort of South London coming into Kent. So quite a big sort of radius that you sort of move around in, which is great then. Yeah. And then of course the
Yeah,
online anywhere in the world. So please, people, look, come and find
yeah.
Tracey. Come and connect, especially now having heard this and seen the space.
Oh, my little space. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do you have a private name for that space?
No, do you know what? I really don't know. Sometimes I call it like my little well-being cabin. Sometimes it's like, I don't know, it's just a really nice space. It's really got a really lovely energy. Like, it's completely in its own little bubble. You come in through these doors and it's like the first thing people say is it's so peaceful. Even though I'm somewhere fairly urban, but my garden's really peaceful as well. I love my garden, so it's planted with this space in mind. So it's kind of a connection. But it's, yeah, I don't know what to call it. The well-being within heart. I don't know. It's just my little space.
It's no, absolutely lovely, and I could almost sort of imagine and sense that as you're talking. So look, absolutely wonderful, Tracey. Thanks for doing that. People, please do
So
come and do it for wellness. Come and find Tracey. Come and visit this little hut and
Who is?
have an experience. So look, glad to have you with us, and thank
Thank
you
you
ever
so
so
much.
much. All right.
Lovely to see you. Take care.